The night was silent, cloaked in a heavy fog that rolled off the Charles River, blanketing Boston in an eerie stillness. It was March 18, 1990, and while the city slept, two men were preparing to execute one of the most audacious art heists in history. At 1:24 a.m., a red Dodge Daytona idled outside the Isabella Gardner Museum. Two men dressed as Boston police officers stepped out and approached the side entrance. They rang the buzzer, and when night watchman Rick Abath answered, they told him they were responding to a disturbance call. Abath, a former rock musician with long hair and a nonchalant attitude, buzzed them in, unaware that he was opening the door to infamy. The officers quickly turned Abath and his buddy Randy Heston into human pretzels, handcuffing them and leading them to the museum's basement for a cozy duct tape makeover. The intruders were as calm and collected as if they were just organizing a Sunday picnic, hinting this wasn't their first rodeo. They even gave the guards a friendly pep talk. "This is a robbery, don't worry," before casually strolling upstairs. The heist took place in the early hours of the morning, a time when the likelihood of detection was low. The streets outside the museum were quiet, and the chance of someone noticing suspicious activity was minimal. The thieves also acted with confidence and methodical precision, suggesting they had planned their operation carefully. The museum's security system was about as advanced as a potato. Sure, it had motion detectors and surveillance cameras, but there were no silent alarms linked to the police. This gave the thieves a luxurious 81 minutes to leisurely loot the museum's treasures, probably while enjoying a cup of Americano. They moved with a blend of surgical precision and total mayhem, ignoring some artworks like they were bad karaoke songs and pouncing on others with the crazed enthusiasm of squirrels on espresso. Their haul included the concert by Vermeer, The Storm on the Sea of Galilee, A Lady and Gentleman in Black by Rembrandt, a self-portrait by Rembrandt, Landscape with an Obelisk by Gauvaert Flink, Chez Tortoni by Manet, Procession near Florence by Degas, Leaving the Paddock by Degas, Program for an Artistic Soirée 1 and 2 by Degas, Three Mounted Jockeys by Degas, An Ancient Chinese Goo by Ancient Chinese, and a French finial from a Napoleonic flag. The art was sloppily cut out of their frames, leaving the empty frames behind like the sad leftovers of a terrible arts and crafts project, stark reminders of the night's artistic mugging. At 2:45 a.m., the thieves vanished into the night, making off with treasures worth over $500 million and leaving a mess that screamed, "We were here." The concert is one of these rare masterpieces, as only 34 known Vermeer paintings survive today, making it extremely valuable both financially and culturally. At the time of the theft, its estimated value alone was around $200 million, contributing significantly to the total value of the stolen art. Despite an intensive investigation involving the FBI, art detectives, and even psychics, the trail went cold. Rumors swirled about the identity of the thieves and the whereabouts of the stolen art. Some speculated that the Mafia was involved, while others believed it was the work of opportunistic criminals who stumbled upon a perfect chance. Theories abounded, yet solid leads were scarce. Rick Abath's involvement in the Isabella Gardner Museum heist has long been a subject of speculation and scrutiny. On the surface, Abath seemed like the last guy you'd peg for an art heist, a 23-year-old ex-rocker who took the night watchman gig just to keep the lights on. But somehow, the clues pointed to him like he was the criminal mastermind behind this daring art theft, despite looking more like he'd get lost on the way to a guitar solo. On the night of the heist, Abath did something highly irregular for a museum security guard. He opened the door to strangers without verifying their identities. Despite training to never allow entry to anyone after hours, he let the two men dressed as police officers into the museum without hesitation. This breach of protocol was a significant red flag. A few weeks before the heist, security footage showed Abath letting an unidentified man into the museum after hours. This unusual activity raised questions about Abath's adherence to security protocols and his possible involvement in the theft. When the robbers tied up Abath and his colleague, they left pieces of duct tape over their eyes. However, when Abath was found, the tape was hanging loosely, suggesting he might have been able to see during the robbery. This detail fueled speculation that he might have been complicit in the crime. In the years that followed, tantalizing hints emerged. Some believed the art had been stashed in a warehouse, awaiting a safer time for sale. Others thought it had been shipped overseas, hidden in private collections, or even destroyed to conceal the crime. A $10 million reward has been offered for the return of the stolen art, yet no credible information surfaced. The paintings remained elusive, as if spirited away by ghosts. In the aftermath of the heist, the FBI and investigators scrutinized Abath's actions and background. They questioned his financial situation, lifestyle, and any potential motives he might have had for participating in the theft. Despite these inquiries, no concrete evidence linking him to the crime was found. Abath steadfastly maintained his innocence, asserting that he was merely a victim of unfortunate circumstances. After the heist, Abath's life took several turns. He left the museum and struggled to find stable employment, often haunted by the cloud of suspicion that followed him. In interviews, he spoke about the emotional toll the experience had on him, expressing frustration over being viewed as a suspect, despite a lack of evidence. Abath eventually moved away from Boston, seeking a quieter life out of the public eye. The suspicion never fully dissipated, but he avoided further legal trouble. On February 23rd of this year, Rick Abath passed away peacefully at home at the age of 57. To this day, he remains a figure of intrigue in the unsolved mystery of the Gardner heist. His behavior on the night of the theft continues to invite speculation, but without concrete evidence, he remains a person of interest rather than a definitive suspect. The other important suspect is Robert Bobby Gentile, a Connecticut gangster and suspected Mafia member with an extensive criminal record. Gentile became a person of interest in the Gardner case in 2009. He was fingered by Elena Guarente, the widow of Robert Bobby Guarente, another mobster who had close ties to several of the Boston criminals believed to have orchestrated and carried out the robbery. The FBI were searching the Guarente family farmhouse in Maine in connection with a drug investigation. That was a dead end. But when investigators returned the keys to Eileen, she volunteered that after Guarente got out of prison in 2002, he had handed 2 of the stolen Gardner works over to Gentile during a lunch with their wives in Portland. Gardner chief investigator always believed that Robert Gentile had some information that could have helped, but chose not to reveal it. They believed that he had contact with at least 2 of the works. Initially, Gentile agreed to work with the FBI, but his cooperation agreement was torn up after he was caught lying. Polygraph results found that there was a less than 0.1% chance he was telling truth about what he knew.
Have you ever watched pornographic videos?
The FBI suspects the stolen paintings eventually passed to the Philadelphia mob. Unfortunately, Gentile passed away on September 17, 2021. He denied having the paintings till his death. For 34 years, the empty frames in the Isabella Gardner Museum have hung like disgruntled ghosts, silently declaring what was lost and serving as a testament to the ultimate lesson: never hire a rock star as your security guard. The 13 stolen pieces from the Isabella Gardner Museum heist could potentially be hidden in several places. They might be held in private collections, either by wealthy individuals who are aware of their origins or by those who are unaware they are stolen. The art could be part of the black market, traded among criminals or used as collateral in illicit transactions. In the worst-case scenario, some of the artworks might have been damaged or destroyed to hide evidence, though this is less likely given their immense value. The Gardner heist remains an enduring mystery, an unsolved enigma that continues to captivate imaginations and discussions. It's this very uncertainty that keeps the tale alive, a modern-day legend whispering through the halls of the museum, teasing visitors with the promise of secrets just beyond reach. The chase is far from over. The mystery of the Gardner heist will continue to inspire and intrigue, a story that will never truly end. So what do you think about the Gardner heist? Thank you for your time. If you enjoyed this content, please hit that like button and subscribe to this channel for more. I'll see you in the next one.